Here I am, hometown boy makes good, writes one critic. All my childhood I lived by the blue Pacific. Anytime that reality makes me heartsick, I come here just to stare at the blue Pacific. See, I'm barefoot on the beach, I watch for you on the horizon. That's where you promised you would be. I've seen your face before in my imagination. One day my eyes will learn to see. Here by the blue Pacific, where the diamond water shimmers in the sun. By the blue Pacific, where the girl still glides and waves divide the silence just like time. Understandably happy to be specific when I'm snorkeled and finned in the blue Pacific. I admire the damselfish, feel terrific as I float on the face of the blue Pacific. See, and barefoot on the beach, I watch for you on the horizon. That's where you promised you would be. I've seen your face before in my imagination. One day my eyes will learn to see. Here by the blue Pacific, where the diamond water shimmers in the sun. By the blue Pacific, where the gull still glides and waves divide the silence just like time.
should be cuddling. Sorrow, searching now. You crossed your heart, and now you better without you. Better without you. Yeah. Memory is only half full in your thoughts. You could do better now. Patiently, 'cause you're so heavy in my heart. I could do better now. I'm with you. I'm with you. You really want me to be. If you want me, I can choose my own. I could do better. I know I can do better.
Love is life and life is love. I like the love. Every part of you, the party life can never do enough. So many obstacles, the possibilities of breaking up. Can even hospital with an extra patient. You got me stuck, I be your prostitute. If you got the patience to pimp me, but you never put me on the strip. Put it on, then you strip. Put it on your fingertips and I'll kiss it off. You better not kiss me goodbye. Test my faith and kiss the cross. I'm trying to go there, take it slow there, if it's alright. Tell me that you care, baby, we can share a whole life. Truth and double dare that I do repair broken hearts. Cupid shot me in the dark. Stupid, I didn't play my part. Ask for your forgiveness if it's worth it. I can serve a purpose if I'm stuttering because I'm nervous. Tell me that you love me still. Promise that I'm staying still. Honesty is all I need. Honestly, we can.
I'm better alone. Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, memory is only half full in your thoughts. You could do better now. Patiently, 'cause you're so heavy in my heart. I could do better now. I'm with you, my heart. I'm with you. I'm with you, my heart. You really want me to, 'cause I can't choose mine. I can't choose. I could do better. I don't wanna be alone. A deafening silence. You're almost exactly what I need. A definite maybe. It's sure to entice my curiosity. I can't help but think that this doesn't add up. I'm trying to separate the facts from all the fiction. We're living in a world of contradictions. And if baby you're the truth, then I'm lying next to you. When you're the desert sand, I'll be your water. And you're the perfect plan I never thought of. I don't wanna do this on my own, and you shouldn't have to be alone. I would rather be alone together. Be alone together.
Well, my heart's been racing, chasing after you. Ooh, you're the sweetest dream, my incredible. Ooh, yeah, the stars so bright, your eyes, the light is blue. I can't help but stare at you. So soft your lips, the wind blows in my hair. you'll give to me, you will see. Yeah, yeah. You're the desert sand, I'll be your water. And you're the perfect plan I never thought of. I don't wanna do this on my own, and you shouldn't have to be alone. I would rather be alone together. We could be alone together. I'll always keep you safe in my arms. I will guarantee that I will never break your heart. I will always put you first, 'cause you deserve the world. Oh, you know me, baby. I wanna hold you. I wanna show you. I wanna take you. I wanna show you. Drop the desert sand, I'll be your water. And you're the perfect plan I never thought of. I don't wanna do this on my own, and you shouldn't have to be alone. I would rather be alone together. Alone shouldn't have to be alone. I would rather be alone together. Be alone together, baby.
Hey, don't worry, I've been lied to. course, I didn't want you to think I wasn't here. Good morning. Good morning, loves. Good morning, loves. We are here. You are somewhere in the universe as I am rambling around trying to put things together after our lovely blood red blue supermoon. Oh, what kind of energy and space did that leave you in? What kind of reflective concepts are you on? What things are you ready to purge and extract in order to get to the bigger picture of your purpose? Ooh, that's some deepness. Well, yeah. So last night, of course, there were tons of things happening, and I did not make any of them because I was in that space of reflectiveness under the light of that most mystical moon. Yeah. So anyway, without further ado, we are here this morning, and on the heels of our first and newest installation for Booze and Boogie, which was called White Chocolate Soul. And some of my people were not happy with the titling of that theme for that first installation of the year, Booze and Boogie. But guess what? We have sponsors now. And under that act, I would say that against those critics, it worked. And we are already planning for our next installation, which is due on February 26th. And guess what? Today is the 1st. And guess what? February seems to be a very short month, and you will see that promo starting to roll out. I don't know. It depends on how I feel. I know I got to get some information from our new sponsors so I can add them to the promo goods, but I'm ready to pop this girl out as I have claimed a newness about my doing, and it's an interesting space I'm in right now. So we're gonna continue playing these tunes. What did we play? We played Michael McDonald. We played Michael Franks. We played Daily because today is mostly, I know I'm going to drop some chocolate, some cocoa up in the white chocolate somewhere, but right now we are definitely revisiting that space that we held in Booze and Boogie at the Charleston on Monday night. And I'm one with that process. So here we go. Some of these people you will know. Some of them you won't. Let's take this journey. Morning, loves. bass line. That bass line got me feeling some kind of way. That was pretty dope. Yeah, so I think I'm trying to remember because Electric Wire Hustle is probably one of those groups with that vocalist being who he is. It's probably one of those groups that I was like, oh man, he sound like Marvin Gaye. Man, he must be. Wow. You get this whole vision of what these people look like in your mind, because you know you think you know everything in your mind, and then you go and find, you know, some information, especially at this day and age, because you know it's not like we got these album covers so much in front of us. But he was one of those people who I was like, oh yeah, dude, sound like Marvin Gaye. That's some dope shit. I'm trying to figure out if they sampled or what they did, because he sounds so much like him. And then I looked and I was like, oh, this a carrot. Is that what they call them? Ginger or carrots or something? I don't know. But yeah, that's one of those sneaky unused vocalist from Electric Wire Hustle. I can't remember his name right now, but you know, soul doesn't always present itself in the form that we think it should. That's what makes it so mysterious and vessel-like, because you never know what package it's going to present itself in. And away we go. Oh, good morning, loves. Good morning. I'm slowly getting it together. As I said, I stayed in the house last night. That was not my intent, but I think the universe wanted me to retreat and go through my process. So that is the reason why I did that. Of course, Jesse's event, Jesse De La Pena does an event on Wednesdays, and this is the second set of series for the B-side event that happens here in Chicago in a space called Twisted Cantina. And as it stands, it's one of my preferred spaces based on the idea that I feel like they properly accommodate DJs based on the equipment options that they have specifically, as well as the fact that it's just a nice space and the food is dope, and the Wednesday night situation is just what a DJ who is looking for other avenues to express themselves might be interested in. I think the challenge, because I'm always, trying to curtail what might be ahead, is to try to figure out how to get some younger people to engage that space, as it is important for them to understand what taste making is. And that's part of the reason why I do this morning love situation, is to kind of, create some other options for myself to be able to play some tunes and work through some processes and, rediscover some things that I've not been able to play in a nightlife situation as of late, based on what we think they're requiring. Moving forward, we are, Sam, I'm gonna get you with another Michael McDonald, because we are referencing some of the white chocolate soul people that I referenced at the Booze and Boogie situation the other day. And I got a few little things I need to say about it. I'm having a switch of opinion. We have to own our faults. Faults are different. Faults are different than responsibilities. That's what I got from my birthday brother Will Smith the other day. We have to own our faults and we have to become responsible. So we're going to take 2 L's for some of the things that happen to us based on creation and lack of responsibility for creation. But we're going to talk about it in a bit. Holla. I'll be back.
Things will never be the same.
Yeah, saying, yeah. This is let's take this walk down memory lane. Yeah, so we had a little record player in my house. It was, you know, uh, a gift. I guess my mother procured as a young woman with a child at that time. We had a record player that was given to her. I don't know who gave it to her, but it was a school record player. So it was like huge, and it had these big silver. It was in a case, kind of like like a gig case or a DJ case or a case for equipment, and it had silver on the ends of it. And so that's what we played records on when I was a kid. And I was living in Chatham. And I remember running to open the door for someone. The doorbell rang when I told me to go to the door. I ran, and I had on some of them old school house shoes with the slippery bottoms, and I slid. Pow! And I hit my face. Hit my face on the edge of that record player. That, my friends, in my opinion, and I remember it because I still have a scar, was my entry into this music game. The pain and the anger and the frustration that a girl felt when her and her mother had to trot on down to the University of Chicago to get stitches, because she was a clumsy little awkward thing that slid face first into that very well constructed education education supply. I don't know what you would call it, equipment for schools. They know kids and people gonna break stuff. This thing was something else. But yeah, so that's how I got introduced to music. And if I recall correctly, that was one of the albums that was on that turntable as a child that my mother collected, because we had a choice record store in Chatham that we would go to. And I knew he was white because I saw the record cover in the store, and I recall. But it's some trickery. Michael McDonald, though, I don't think that he studied us like that. I think that it was just natural for him. I think that somebody like a Justin Timberlake studied us and created his concept. We'll talk about it later. So I must tell you that I'm in love with the flute. That was a tune by a group called Moonchild. And I think Moonchild is in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not sure. I stumbled on them based on some Jedi on Facebook hitting my inbox and going, if you don't know them, I think you need to know them. So that was Moonchild and a tune called 6 a.m. Of course, right now we are in the midst of a morning love session, and I am doing a bit of the white chocolate soul situation that we covered at Booze and Boogie on Monday. And according to my visuals, you were not there. We did have a nice room of people. We did have a nice room, and I'm very excited as this was our first installation of the year for Booze and Boogie, and we have garnered a liquor sponsor. And we are going to be adding some fuel to that fire for our next date, which is February 26th at 8 p.m. at the Charleston. And that Charleston is 2076 North Hoyne in the great area of Bucktown, which is tiptoes from Wicker Park. And it's a cute space. And the sound system is incredible because it was fashioned by a store called Decibel. So there are two things that you need to know. Number one, it's very comfortable. Number two is that kind of you don't have to have a lot of energy in the space. You just need to come and chill and have some food with us and have some drinks and bring your friends, and you can talk. And, you know, if you're not trying to turn up because it's Monday, there is a energy that says be yourself in the room, and that's very important for us. So that's my little spiel. We're going to get back into it. This next woman has creeped around my atmosphere and in my life for, I know, the last, I'm going to give her 20 years. The group Beatty Bell and the vocalist B.T. Leche is a staple for me. And I assumed that she was biracial when I first heard her voice on Moderation. This tune is called Leeway. Check it out.
I'm not afraid of distance. I'm not afraid of space. The road of least resistance isn't always the wisest way. Nah, 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 nah. I'm not afraid of leeway. All wings need room to fly. If credence has no free play, then on who can you rely? Wave goodbye. Doesn't matter if you don't reply. Doesn't matter if you come. Doesn't matter if you go. If you walk by my side. Doesn't matter if you're on your way to enticing places far away. All I ask for is to join you on the ride. Oh yeah. But distance and indifference are not to be confused. I ask for your heart's presence so that my love ventures to let loose. Doesn't matter if you wave goodbye. Doesn't matter if you don't reply. Doesn't matter if you come. Doesn't matter if you go. If you walk by my side. Doesn't matter if you're on your way to enticing places far away. All I ask for is to join you on the ride. I'll give you scope. I'll give you latitude. If there's a hope that you will include me in your future plans and in your restless heart, then hold my trembling hands before we come apart. Doesn't matter if you wave. Doesn't matter if you don't. Doesn't matter if you come. Doesn't matter if you go. If you walk by my side, join you on the ride. Doesn't matter if you wave goodbye. Doesn't matter if you don't reply. Doesn't matter if you come. Doesn't matter if you go. If you walk by my side. Doesn't matter if you're on your way to enticing places far away. All I ask for is to join you on the ride. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not afraid of leeway. I'm not afraid of distance. I'm not afraid of space. I'm not afraid of leeway. I'm not afraid of the distance, baby. I'm not afraid of space. No, I'm not afraid of leeway. I'm not afraid of leeway.
Okay. So, just it's little things that you just pick up. Like the other day when I was pulling files for the event, I was like listening attentively. I was listening and I'm like, okay, some of these people in hindsight, were white. Like in hindsight, like you listen back and you're like, you could tell there's some nasally. They have an intonation. They speak from their nasal passages, I think. And we kind of speak from our throat underneath. They're on top up here and we're underneath down here. And I think underneath down here is closer to what I consider the space that I thought the soul, for me, when I was a kid, the soul was somewhere in my belly. That's where the soul was, in my opinion, was in my belly, because I just had this feeling when I would do something and it would make me nervous, I would get butterflies and stuff. So as a kid, I was like, these butterflies and stuff down here, my soul has got to be somewhere between my belly and my thighs or something, because that's where I got nerves all up in the space. But I think that's where our soul intonations come from. So that last tune was Beatty Bell, and it's called Leeway. And she said, baby. And I'm like, she got it too. Like, of course, depending on where you grew up, depending on who you grew up with, somebody might have had some collard greens up on your plate. You might have had that radio. You might have snuck away from your home, and you might have went down somewhere and listened to a bunch of Donny Hathaway and, whoever at that period, especially if you were in Europe. I think Beatty Bell, I think the group is from Belgium, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's Belgium. They don't really have that problem because their radio played our music consistently. Like where, our radio stations were like, no, this is white radio. We don't want them on white. No, black people on white. Their radio stations, Motown and blues and gospel and soul. I assume their radio stations just play everything. So nobody was fighting and separating them from listening to the sounds that they listened to. I think that's why we were blessed with such an artist as Amy Winehouse. And like, I don't care what you say, Amy was black to me, especially when you consider how her life ended. That was black. We're going to continue, and I'm going to throw it back because I most certainly have to pay homage to somebody whose record cover I stared at all the time as a kid. I stared at it. So growing up, I knew she wasn't just like me. But because she had a nose ring and her hair was kind of crinkly and, you know, she was in the soulful place on the album cover and stuff, you know, the album cover, she's sitting like on a rock around some flyer or something. And she had on like a little dashiki looking flowery kind of dress. And, you know, she had gold on and she kind of had this snarl in her nose. And in her face kind of screw faced. I was like, she got to be at least biracial. Tina Marie.
Hey, baby, how you doing? Wow. It's really been a long time, you know? Remember that night? You remember? On a starry winter night in Portugal, where the ocean kissed the southern shore. There a dream I never thought would come to pass came in with like time spent through an hourglass. You know what I'm saying, baby? Hey! Maybe that would express what I've been going through.
So, yeah. So, once again, because I'm kind of traveling, I'm touring right now with my social media situation. We are live and direct via Spreaker. Spreaker is a platform that houses my Morning Love show, and we do this every Thursday live and direct at 8 a.m. This particular session is kind of the spinoff from an event that I did on Monday called White Chocolate Soul, and we are featuring some of our blue-eyed soul singers right now. My chat room is open. If you'd like to join us on Spreaker, you can go to the link in my bio because I am streaming live right now via Instagram. I'm going to close that out shortly. Yeah, so I didn't have a problem because I was introduced to Jamiroquai at a DJ's house. This particular DJ is the one who kind of set the stage for me deciding that I needed to buy turntables back in 1802. And Jamiroquai's album cover at that time was, his first album cover was a caricature, and it was all colorful and artful, and he was very much in the front of the cover looking like a white boy. So for me, there was no, oh, I wonder kind of situation. If you heard him via radio, or if you heard these people, you know, in some platform where you didn't have a visual for them, then yeah, you got tricked. And for some of these people, it was not a bad trick, because like, what you like, whoa, like it should make you want to discover their history. Like, who did he grow up with? And, you know, where is he from? And how did he get this soul? Jamiroquai, I think part of the reason why Jamiroquai is so soulful to me, like JK is soulful, part of it is based on his band. Let's just keep it 100. Now, his vocals got that Stevie Wonder kind of vibe to it, and then there's kind of a Roy Ayers situation, and he might have been one of those people who kind of cultured his sound based on things that he had heard not necessarily based on what came out of his being, but you cannot front on how dope Jamiroquai and JK are together. So we're gonna rock that real quick.
See, I'm trying a million times.
once again, we are live and direct via Spreaker on this Morning Love session. Morning Love happens every Thursday at 8 a.m. Central Standard Time. I'm not sure exactly where you are on the globe, but if you'd like to tune in, the best way to get in tune with the fact that I do these live sessions is to head on over to the Spreaker page and follow, so you'll get the notification via email when I do go live, or you could simply put it on your calendar. 8 a.m. every Thursday, Fathom DJ, live and direct via Spreaker. Morning Love. Now, these sessions are most certainly crafted to present you with a little more energy. Of course, we over the hump day because it's not Wednesday. Thursday, you're supposed to be like, whoo, it's almost over. But for those people, because I know energy-wise, some of us don't wake up every day on 12,000. Like, it's Thankful Thursday, so we most certainly are thankful to have breath in our bodies once again today. But sometimes, I know last night I was on the hotbed under the light of the blood blue red supermoon. I was on the hotbed with all of my processes and things, the endeavors that I'm undertaking. I was on the hotbed. So I didn't wake up feeling like, yes. But I'm inspired and encouraged by our sessions on Thursdays, which is part of the reason why I present them. Now, so we're going to travel on with this next artist. And I cannot remember exactly how I stumbled onto these two particular individuals. But you're going to listen to it, and then we're going to have conversation afterwards. Oh, we're gonna have this quick conversation because a couple days, well, it's interesting how you go and you create something and then all of a sudden it pops up in your universe. That's called algorithms, and it could be a bit of stalking. But shortly after I decided that I was gonna do this white chocolate soul event at Booze and Boogie at the Charleston, all of a sudden I get this video, and I can't remember the cat's name, but he did a video where he's talking about how Bobby Caldwell, like how he had to go through his motions when he found out that Bobby Caldwell was white, like he couldn't go to work and he didn't know what to do with himself. I think I always knew Bobby Caldwell was white. It's just one of them things. And I don't think my mother had that album, so I don't remember his face in any capacity. Like, yeah, but I did know that Bobby Caldwell was not a member. And let me just say this before we move forward in this process. I don't want, well, do I care? I'm a little too old to give a damn what you think. Kev on Stage did the video. Right. My chat room on Spreaker is here for those people who don't know how this works. So when I close out this session, you can come to Spreaker and join us because we're not going to be up in Facebookville that long. But like I was saying, I don't really, like, soul is soul, and I receive the vessels that the soul comes in. Like, you might be conflicted, like, oh, I can't support him. And that's on you. Like, I know soul from the depths of my people in this country and from the depths of my people across the water. So we ain't going to debate about that. And because we're the first, you know, of course, we're the first. So some people are just soulful, and, you know, because it's in them to be that. And, of course, there are people who are sitting and studying us and creating concepts and molding and crafting their soulfulness. That's different than having your soul come from a place. Like Eminem is soulful based on who he was surrounded with. How that soul was manipulated is based on the industry. Like, you know, when you were born in the sticks, in the hood, with the peoples, then you might have the soul by nature because that's a part of your DNA. But if you sat in a lab, or if somebody said, take all of these CDs and listen to all of this, then it might be manufactured and mass produced. So when I got up this morning, I watched a video, and the video talked about Questlove and the Soul Aquarians and that whole thing. Now, their process of doing is very similar to that, because him and D'Angelo were in the studio, and they went and bought $2,000 worth of vinyl, and they were sitting and dissecting and coming up with their sound. But they have it by nature. There's a difference. And there are some black folks that don't have soul by nature. Maybe I should do a series on them. That's not what it's about. Bobby Caldwell.
Be so blind. You're still regretting the love you left behind. Oh, darling, I've seen you go through the changes, sitting alone each night. Are you expecting to find the love that's right? Darling, open your eyes. Let me show you the light. Girl, you never find a love that's right. Darling, open your eyes. Let me show you the light. Girl, you think you're so wise, you're so wise. There are times when you'll need someone. I will be by your side. I take my chances before they pass me by. Oh, darling, there is a light that shines special for you and me. You need to look at the other side. You'll agree. Darling, open your eyes. Let me show you the light. You may never find
'cause you'll be stronger than
I'm sexy, babe, but you don't want nobody else. You don't want this guy, you don't want that guy. You wanna touch yourself when you see me. Tell me how you love my body and how I make you feel, babe. You wanna roll with me, you wanna hold with me, you wanna stay warm, get out of the cold with me. I just love to hear you say it. It makes a man feel good, babe. Tell me you depend on me. I need to hear it. I'm lost without you, can't help myself. How does it feel to know that I love you, baby? I'm lost without you, can't help myself. How does it feel to know that I love you, baby? Baby, you're the perfect shape. Baby, you're the perfect way. Treat me like my birthday. I want it this way, I want it that way. I want it. Tell me you don't want me to stop. Tell me it would break your heart, but you love me when I'm not dirty. You wanna roll with me, you wanna hold with me, you wanna make thighs and get no we can work with me. I just love to hear you say it. It makes a man feel good, babe. I'm lost without you, can't help myself. How does it feel to know that I love you, baby? I'm lost without you, can't help myself. How does it feel to know that I love you, baby? 'Cause you will tell me every morning. Ooh, alright. Oh, yeah. Oh, it's 4 in the morning. You've taken my mind. There's a stubborn part of me that won't leave you behind. You are the watermark, the line of the tide. There's no return. I've made up my mind. Said I'm gonna love you. You won't even know. Said I'm gonna love you. Ooh. I can't help myself. I'm taking the air. Everyone is you. I keep on in
Slip on your dancing shoes and move and feel free. There's just no way that this jam can lose. So I'm asking you to give me one more dance. Ooh. Chance. Give me one more chance. Give me one more chance, baby. If you give me one more dance. Give me one more chance, baby. Been so long since I had one chance. One more chance. Give me one more chance, baby. Now it's kinda crowded, baby. I'm faded, cause I'm so high on you. Intoxicated, stuck in the groove. And I know you feel it too. It's hard to believe that it feels so. Girl, you do it like you know you should. Dance again, cause we got this down. Never stop, cause the love we feel special. So let's go all night. Truly, I feel there's nothing better. There's just no way that this jam can lose. So I'm asking you to give me one more dance. One more dance. Give me one more dance, baby. Please dance with me, baby. One more chance. Give me one more chance, baby. Give me one more dance. One more. Give me one more dance. Dance with my baby. Oh, you're so fine. You're so fine.
So right now, I'm live via Periscope and Spreaker, of course. If you'd like to join us on Spreaker, you are most certainly welcome to do so.
Never been one for playing games. You can lose your life forever, but the words sound just the same. Something's like, baby, you're dead. Can we just make the love instead? Say yes, 'cause it's what we do best, and I've had
okay, so I had to stop. I was going to blend into the next tune, but I need you to know that this is one of my favorite songs of life. And because I have such a keen memory, I have to share my memory. I remember when this tune came out, honey. I remember when it was on the radio. I already knew who George Michael was from Wham, and of course videos aided us in that, because Cats was, you know, on what was the channel that played videos all day long back in 1802. It was like 66 or something like that. It was, I can't think, somebody's going to help me in my chat room with the name of the channel. The Box. It was the Box. The Box played videos all day long. So Wake Me Up Before You Go and all of these things had already come out for Wham. But this is George Michael. And this is George Michael at the point where he's about to do his own thing. And this song was played on GCI. I remember the day that it was played. I was sitting at home. I don't know what year I was in school, but I remember listening and I was like, this song is, whatever the term was, dope, cool, whatever. That's where I was in my world when I heard Hard Day, and it has followed me. And it's part and parcel to part of the reason why, you know, I decided I wanted to create this White Chocolate Soul series. And just so you know, White Chocolate Soul will be coming back. You know, that was January. It was the start of Booze and Boogie. I'm just getting my wheels turning on the theme events because I'm not a theme girl by nature. Like when I first started DJing and when DJing got popular, the music was so dope that it didn't need a theme. The clubs were so dope that you just went to the clubs. The DJs were skilled and scholarly, so you didn't need to do anything other than show up where they were playing. And, you know, I'm not going to front about it because, like, you know, humility is a double-edged sword. We were in the midst of a very important period in the 90s for music. And I came in on the Slim slide. You know, I started getting my bearings towards the later 90s in terms of DJing and stuff like that. But everything that came out to us was dope. I don't remember no whack shit until now. When I have to go back and Google and find these tunes, I remember, oh, this song was not the hottest. I wasn't playing this song. I remember Maxwell, and I remember, you know, Erykah Badu and Lauryn Hill, and I remember funky soul and disco being played during those sets on the weekends as well. All of these things were dope. Hip hop was super dope. Fucking Mos Def was dope as shit, and Common was getting his stuff together and about to do big things. All of these people were super dope. The fashion was killer. And the music was real because it was real. Like, you know, we had dusted the 80s situation. We did keep the 808s, but there was a lot of live instrumentation in that music. And people were like referencing analog and like getting to the core and sampling good shit. And so that's my little story. But, you know, this is a different era and, you know, people are where they are. But, you know, some of the babies are reaching and looking at that particular era because it's the 90s. And, you know, unfortunately, we're about to hit the 2020. So we're going to be on that 2000 era. And that era is, it's going to be real challenging. But anyway, we're going to get back to the songs and, you know, this White Chocolate situation. Most certainly, I have to reference one of my favorite. This whole album for Lisa Stansfield, this whole album, Affection, was the entire deal.
I don't know where my baby is, but I'll find him somewhere, somehow. I've got to let him know how much I care. I'll never give up looking for my baby. Been around the world and I can't find my baby. I don't know when, I don't know why he's gone away, and I don't know where he can be, my baby. But I'm gonna find him. We had a quarrel, reasons he should go, and he said things he hadn't said before, and he was oh so mad. And I don't think he's coming back, coming back. I did too much lying, wasted too much time. Now I'm here and crying. Around the world and I can't find my baby. I don't know when, I don't know why he's gone away, and I don't know where he can be, my baby. But I'm gonna find him. So open-hearted, he never did me wrong. I was the one, the weakest one ever, and now I'm oh so sad. I don't think he's coming back, coming back. I did too much lying, wasted too much time. Now I'm here and crying. Been around the world and I can't find my baby. I don't know and I don't know why he's gone away, and I don't know where he can be, my baby. But I'm gonna find him. Ooh, been around the world and I can't find my baby. I don't know and I don't know why he's gone away, and I don't know where he can be, my baby. But I'm gonna find him. I'm going to find.
I gotta ask myself, what's it gonna be, babe? Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be? I gotta ask myself what I'm gonna do, babe. Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be? I gotta pop, gotta get a birthday, something for me and my family. I gotta make decisions and be somebody. I'm growing up as fast as I can. I gotta make some money, don't wanna live by the rules. In and out the day, in and out the night, I'ma find my way just to survive. I gotta ask myself, what's it gonna be, babe? Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be? I gotta ask myself, I gotta ask myself, babe. Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be? Something beautiful inside of me. Oh yeah. Something wonderful inside of me. Oh yeah. Something beautiful inside of me. Oh yeah. Something wonderful inside of me. I gotta ask myself, what's it gonna be, babe? Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be? I gotta ask myself what I'm gonna do, babe. Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be? I gotta pop, gotta get a birthday, something for me and my family. I gotta make decisions and be somebody. I'm growing up as fast as I can. I gotta make some money, don't wanna live by the rules. In and out the day, in and out the night, I'ma find my way
Let's go, Mary.
just to survive. I gotta ask myself, what's it gonna be, babe? Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be? I gotta ask myself, what I'm gonna do, babe? Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be?
something beautiful inside of me. Oh yeah. Something wonderful inside of me. Oh yeah. Something beautiful inside of me. Oh yeah. something wonderful inside of me.
I gotta papa, gotta live up to the words. Everyone's talking. I gotta be somebody, and for my baby, I'm growing up as fast as I can. I gotta make life better for everyone. Just to survive,
I gotta ask myself,
I gotta
what's it
ask
gonna be,
myself.
baby? Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be?
Something beautiful inside of me.
Oh yeah,
Something wonderful inside of me.
oh yeah,
Something beautiful inside of me.
oh yeah.
Something wonderful inside of me.
Oh,
I gotta ask myself, what's it gonna be, babe? Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be? I gotta ask myself, what I'm gonna do, babe? Am I gonna save myself? What's it gonna be? I gotta papa, something for me and my family. Oh, and be somebody.
I got caught up.
Than anything, I need you. Want to get closer to you, to you, to you. I want to get closer to you now. Ba-da-da, ba-da-da, ba-da-da-da-da-da, oh, love ya, I need ya.
I think I wanna squeeze ya, sexy, so tightly. Oops.
Girl, you know you better blow.
This is my exhale moment right now.
Say it again.
Just one more time, I got to know how you came to blow my mind, yeah.
Closer.
Pleasure, passion, tonight's the night I'm looking for your action. I want you, hold you.
Don't you know
God.
that now you blow my mind. Say it again.
Just one more time, I got to know how you came to blow my mind.
Closer. Fever. Hot now.
Help me wipe the sweat away from my brow.
Sexy.
Ah, lady,
Don't you know this time you blow my mind? Oh, don't you know, yeah. Don't you know by now, 'cause now you blow my mind, yeah. Oh, yes you do. Yes you do. Yes you blow my mind.
live and direct via Spreaker. Morning Love, the final hour. Yeah. Yeah.
I've been laid out from work, my rent is due. My kids all need brand new shoes. So I went to the bank to see what they could do. They said, son, look like that love got a hold on you. But it's too tight to mention. I can't give an unemployment extension. But it's too tight to mention.
says, please reply. Not the girl with the blue tattoo of you. And the spy. I know your shadow hides just what I need. Something there inside I long to see. I got to take the lead, undercover lover. Coming from the cold, coming from the cold. I'm a spy on you, keeping my eye on you. Do you remember my tattoo of you? It was blue. Is it funny? I wanna be with you. Undercover. Love, that's all. I sit covered up an empty eye, empty spaces where there used to be a soul inside. Nothing I know and never gets to them. Seems to when you blur right through them. Believing in gods who never knew them. I believe in love. I believe in love. I do. I believe I'm feeling good. I'm feeling love is feeling good. I believe in love. Feeling love is feeling good. Worry. I'm an every money tree. You got to hide, yeah. Monkey do what the monkey see. You're on a one-way street and you're speeding. Listen to signs you should be reading. That's the things you let have been reading. I believe in love. I believe that nobody sold me. Always knew it, nobody told me. I believe in someone who told me. I believe in love. I believe in love. I do. I believe in love. Love is feeling good. Feeling love is feeling good. I believe in love. Feeling love is feeling good. I believe in love. Feeling love is feeling good. I believe in love. Feeling love is feeling good. I believe in love. Feeling love is feeling good. I believe in love.
Hey, you say you want to make it last all day. You say you don't want feelings to go away. And shoot, feelings that are this good are hard to find. I feel sad that we don't have just a little more time. You know that things are temporary. It won't last, you know it. Now's your chance to do it. I wish it wasn't necessary. All things enjoy it, so enjoy it now.
Hey,
I'll show you how. It won't be long before it's gone. Enjoy it soon. In September or June. I'll
show you how. Hey, morning love. Good morning, love.
Just enjoy it now.
This is the final hour for our session.
Why don't you try? You might like what you're missing. Instead of standing there, we could be kissing. Don't wait for next time. Next time might be 1,000 days. Or maybe never. So come on and take a chance and play. Baby, don't you wanna try the things you think of? Life is short, don't pass this chance up. It might be love. You know the only thing we have is love. Life is short, you know it. So enjoy it now. I'll show you how. It won't be long before it's gone. September or June.
I'll show you how. Enjoy it now.
It won't last, you know it. It won't last, you know it. Now's your chance to do it. Now's your chance to do it. Now's your
Oh, we can debate about Huey Lewis and the News.
Power of love is a curious thing. Make a one man weep, make another man sing. Change your heart to a little white dove. More than a feeling.
That's the power of love. Good morning, loves. Oh,
Tougher than diamonds, rich like cream. Stronger and harder than a bad girl's dream. Make a bad one good, make a wrong one right. Power of love that keep you home at night. Don't need money, don't take fame. Don't need no credit card to ride this train. It's strong and it's sudden and it's cruel sometimes, but it might just sing. That's the power of love. That's the power of love. First time you feel it, it might make you sad. Next time you feel it, it might make you mad. You'll be glad, maybe, when you're found. That's the power makes the
world around. Hey, don't make money.
Don't take fame.
Don't need no credit card to ride this train.
Strong and it's sudden, it'll
Be cool sometimes, but it might just save your life. Sing it out. They say that often love is fair. Yeah, but you don't care. 'Cause you know what to do when it gets all of you.
and with a little help from love, you
Feel the power of love. Feel the power of love.
can you feel it?
Hey, so we gotta have this quick debate because I almost got roasted on Facebook. Yeah, I almost got roasted the other day about Huey Lewis, and I was gonna say Newton because you know where my mind state normally is, but Huey Lewis and the News. I'm so sorry because in my opinion they equate as Blue Eyed Soul. I'm so sorry for you that you don't hear the blues in Huey Newton. If you didn't hear it in Kenny Loggins, that's fine. You can hear it in Kenny Loggins. You might want to debate corniness as it pertains to Huey Lewis because of the association of those movies that he was in. Ghostbusters was one of them, and then it was the one with, you know, the one, the time machine one that I can't remember. I can see the name, but I can't say it because it's out of my league. You know, that movie with the time machines, and he was doing all that corny shit. Those movies were corny. Them checks was good. And most certainly, if you dissect that voice, it's soul and blues. Okay, I'm done. That's my sermon. you hear me spin, I'm trying to figure out how to play this tune everywhere I go because it is one of my favorite remixes for Steely Dan.
Here before.
agree. That's just the way life can be. But it doesn't mean that we can't live together happily. Wanna spend my life with you. Yes, I will if you want to. Baby, please listen, cause the words I say are true. Don't turn around, baby, don't you doubt it. Don't walk away, cause we can work it out. Baby, we've been here before. Close up to that door. Baby, kiss me, let's fall asleep again. Come close now, cause I don't want to fight. I can think of better ways that we can spend the night. We've been here before, even closer to that door. Baby, kiss me, let's fall in love again.
She musters a smile for his nostalgic tale. Never coming near what you wanted to say, only to realize it never really was. She had a place in his life. As she rises to her apology, anybody else would surely know he's watching her go. But what a fool believes he sees. The wise man has the power to reason away. See.
good 21 minutes left. For this particular morning love session, I'm sending cosmic kisses to everyone in my chat room, everyone who's listening but not in the chat room. What's happening? What's good? Live and direct via Spreaker, 8 a.m. every Thursday. Morning love. Morning loves. Hey.
Don't
been gone. Don't know how much more I can take. Before I go in, I do something wrong.
Just another lonely day, waiting around for you. I don't think I can stand the pain. Just another lonely night. Oh, baby, what am I gonna do? I don't think I can stand the pain. When you're gone, I get so lonely. I just wish that you were here so you can hold me. But you've been gone so long. You've been gone so long, so long.
Ever since you went away,
Baby,
though my heart is still with you, I can weaken my body straight. I might do, but I don't want to. I've been patient and tried to wait. Months since you've been gone. Don't know how much more I can take. Before I go in, I do something wrong.
that, I wasn't intending to play this, but I'm really fond of this song, and I wouldn't necessarily say that it sounds like Blue Eyed Soul, but the bass line, and it's a few things in the song that I really like, so I just want to play it.
Don't get too tired for love. Don't let it end. Don't say goodnight to love. It may never be the same again. Don't say it. Don't say it. Say anything. Don't say goodnight tonight. Don't say it. Don't say it. Say anything. Don't say goodnight tonight. Don't say it. Don't say it. You can say anything, but don't say goodnight tonight. Don't say it. Don't say it. Say anything. Don't say goodnight tonight. Don't say it. Don't say it. Say anything, but don't say goodnight tonight. Oh no.
So we are wrapping up this session of Morning Love. I'm sending cosmic kisses to all of you who tuned in for this particular session. Yeah. So we do this every Thursday, live via Spreaker. If you can and will, please feel free to join us and follow this podcast so you can get the notifications when we go live, because, you know, I'm trying to get to the point where I just can pass the information and get into my set so that it goes smoother.
Don't get too tired for love.
You most certainly can find me this weekend at Tantrum, 1023 South State in the South Loop of Chicago. You also can find me at the Bureau Bar, which is 75 East 16th Street, also in the South Loop.
It's a feeling that may never end. Don't say goodnight.
Yeah.
Say it. Don't say it. Say anything. Don't say goodnight tonight. Don't say it. Don't say it. Say anything. Don't say goodnight tonight.
And yeah, so I just got this notification and a confirmation. There is a salon in the Bronzeville area called, I think it's called Beautiful, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And a group associated with BET is doing a bit of a after work happy hour kind of situation on Monday. You might have to Google it because I don't know if I'm supposed to be inviting people or not, but I will be there with them as they premiere a few products via BET, as well as I think there's a reality TV show or something that it's associated with, and they got these dryers and stuff, and you're going to be able to view this in these dryers. But anyway, that's where I'll be on Monday. That's where I'll be on Monday. As of today, I was booked for that. So anyway, cosmic kisses and well wishes to your Thursday. It's Thankful Thursday. Make sure that you find something to be thankful for. You can find me in your World Wide Webosphere at findingfathomdj.com, hashtag findingfathomdj or fathomdj. That's what's up with me. And I don't think it's that cold today. I didn't do the weather or anything like that. I was too busy talking and giving sermons and looking at people doing Super Bowl stuff who ain't supposed to be doing Super Bowl stuff this weekend. Yeah. All right. Anyway, space.